The journey has begun. I'm on the way to Sturgis 2025, and it's already starting with some incredible Florida shit. I just saw a truck towing a boat, and inside the boat was another boat. I can't make it up. Seriously, there was like a fiberglass bass boat, and inside the bass boat was a smaller fiberglass bass boat, like sitting in the boat. What? I don't know. So I'm gonna get back to focusing on what the hell I'm doing, because I'm going on the road pulling. We'll talk about what's in the trailer later, but I need to pay attention. So, oh, Tesla, I should cut them off. There you go. Oh, hi. 100-mile update. There's nothing to say. I'm getting 9.8 miles to the gallon, which is shocking and probably has something to do with the weight being less in the back of the rig. We'll get to that when I get to my stopping point for the night. But I'm pulling less weight than I have in previous years. About 700 pounds less. Actually, no, more than that. About 1,500 pounds less than that, because I'm not hauling water. Just like 10 gallons, which this has got a 100-gallon tank, my rig does, and water weighs 8 pounds a gallon. So do the math, that's 800 pounds in water. I'm only pulling maybe 10, 12 gallons in there, maybe not even, so less than 100 pounds there. I've got 10 gallons of fuel in the generator tank. Normally that's full, which that's not a ton, but these all add up, and there's something else missing that reduces the weight by roughly 700, 750 pounds. So, pulling a lot less weight. The rig's pulling like a champ. Like, there could be something to this, because the bikes are even set in a different, what's the word I'm looking for? Formulation than they have been in previous years. But I'm getting 9.8 miles a gallon, which is better than I ever have. Bearings are fine so far on the rig. Yeah, I mean, everything's behaving itself really well. Again, this is 102 miles. We got 250 to go. I always say it's 2,500 miles each way. It's actually not. It's like 24 or something like that. This route might put it really close to 25 though, because I'm going through Montgomery, Alabama, and then straight up to Kansas City, and then cutting over that way. My normal route home is 75 straight up through Atlanta, and then after Atlanta is, no wait, I'm doing this, is it, yeah, it's Atlanta, then Chattanooga. Chattanooga's hell. So this route I'm trying is supposed to add 1 hour. It's not true, it doesn't. But if you check the map apps and just say from here to, Sturgis through Montgomery, Alabama, it says it adds like 56 minutes or something longer than if you go the shortest route. It doesn't, because that doesn't take into consideration the absolute hell that both Atlanta and Chattanooga are. Atlanta has always been hell. It's like 3 hours to get through that city, just no matter what time of day. Well, maybe 3 in the morning, but like rolling down the road normally, if you hit it, even just evenings or more, not even during rush hour, it's hell to get through Atlanta. Y'all know that if you've been through the city. And then shockingly, the nicest part of this drive, not shockingly that is, but historically, the nicest part of this drive has always been Chattanooga, because you got some mountains, it's interesting, it's pretty, some lakes, But the last few years, maybe 2-3 years ago, I guess there's so much construction that it can take a few hours to get through Chattanooga, and it's just miserable stop and go traffic. So, and every time there's the traffic from the construction and an accident, and the map apps end up telling you get off the highway, go through the city, well, the town, yada, 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 and pulling a 36-footer on the back through a city full of people that in certain parts, yeah, I'm not insulting anybody who lives in Chattanooga. Y'all know there's some questionable individuals in downtown Chattanooga. They're wandering out in the street. Oh, that actually happened last year. Dude just walked out in front of my truck off the sidewalk. Feel like he was seeing things that weren't there, if you know what I'm saying. But Chattanooga's kind of hellish to get through. It was a great town, but hellish to get through. This route is very rural. I did something similar coming home last year, and it was really pretty. I hope it's, equally good. But I'm going all the way up to Interstate 10 and like Tallahassee, and then hooking west and then going up. So I'm not, the only major city I'm going through is Memphis, and I don't know what time of day it'll be, because these trips you just kind of go with the flow, right? Because at any minute you might have an issue. It's just the reality of it. So a lot of people, when they talk trash about people who have, well, they're not talking about campers. They're typically talking trash about somebody who puts their bike on a U-Haul trailer and pulls it. And I always say, leave them alone. You don't know the reason why. And also, it's none of your damn business. But to whine for a minute, and it may be something that people who don't have RVs don't realize, these things are freaking work. Every RVer out there is like, hallelujah, brother. Like, the RVs are hellish to own in a lot of ways. They break. They are incredibly unreliable. Bearings are a constant thing. Maintenance, tires, shit. Windroad, Des, Windroad Therapy, she's had more blowouts than I have. Like, it's unbelievable the number of blowouts you'll have. Even now, you know, monitoring my speed and keeping it really low and, you know, driving like a monk, still I'm worried about I could have multiple blowouts on the way up there. It's just a reality of it. My tires are fairly new and they're good. They're not China bombs, you know, but they're a lot of work. That and things break. You hear horror stories, people freshwater tanks breaking loose from the rig and falling out. Yeah, I mean, they're bad. They're just really badly made. And so you're just nervous the whole time. Besides the fact that that's my home. You know what I mean? That's my home for the next 2.5 weeks. And if something goes wrong with it, I'm in a hotel room now, and there goes my budget. And there, you know what I mean? All this stuff is stressful, you know, when you have these freaking RVs. So yeah, I have to worry about it breaking. I have to worry about the water pump goes out in the rig. Whatever. The generator quits running. So when I stop, this is how I get there too. I used to get KOA sites the whole way, and that gets kind of expensive. So, well, I mean, not incredibly expensive, but it's money you don't have to spend, because you can, in fact, camp in Walmart parking lots and Cracker Barrels. Cracker Barrels are even better, even though my rig's a little long. So when I find a Cracker Barrel and I get there at night, I pray there's no one there, because I take up 2 or 3 spots, because I have to kind of pull in and hook, because their camper spots in the back of their parking lots are not long enough for my truck and rig. So it is what it is. But this is, you want to see the Florida Strip, this is what the Florida part of the drive looks like. Yeah, that's it. I think people think that I see like the ocean. No, I don't see that. That's a field. And then you just got this the whole way. This is the whole way out of Florida. That's what it looks like, with the exception of when you go through Orlando and you got a lot of highway and all that sort of stuff. But there you go. That's what this is what these videos are going to be like. So if you hate it, sorry. But tonight I'm going to stop. My plan is to upload a video every morning. That's a goal, right? Even if it's 3.5 minutes long, my goal is to upload a video every morning while I'm here. I'm not going to do it. I will fail. I know I will fail, but you all have to have goals in life. And I'm going to upload this tomorrow morning, and then, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. And yeah, so check back in the first fuel stop. My fill up, this is the kind of stuff people ask me. Besides the fact that I'm getting 9.8 miles a gallon, which is shocking. It'll get bad when I get out of Florida. I'll drop down to 8 or so when I get out of Florida, but you know, 9.8 so far. Anyway, when I filled this up, diesel was $3.69 a gallon, and I am not complaining about that, because previous years it's been $4.25. I haven't seen truck stop prices yet, but that's a good sign. And when you're buying 500 gallons, I buy 500 gallons of fuel round trip historically. You know, a fluctuation in 50-60 cents a gallon, do the math, man. $4 a gallon at 500 gallons, that's $2,000. And I've paid more. I remember when I first time I budgeted this, gas must have been really high, because I remember it was like $3,500 is what I actually spent. That could be the high, you know, truck stop price and stuff. I normally go through trucker pumps when they're not busy. I don't want to be in the way of people who are trying to work for a living, you know what I'm saying? But it's just so much easier to pull this pig through the trucker lanes than it is to try and jockey it around an island full of morons to get to the diesel pump. Which, why does the guy in the Honda Civic always take the diesel pump? Like, I don't know. All right, I'm sorry. Now I'm just complaining. Sorry. All right, so check back in a bit. 250 mile check-in. Is this boring for y'all? Comments. I don't know. I mean, some of you right now are screaming, I can't believe you trailer. Let's just address that, as we always do. First off, you can only bitch like that if we all owned RVs, we were all coming from the same place. You think of what else? And we were all incredibly able-bodied. So from there, shut up. I'm pulling my house, and inside my house is my motorcycle, and my wife's motorcycle. And my wife flies up on the 31st and then is out on the 7th because she can't be gone more than a week. So it works for us. Shut up! Anyway, so I'm 250 miles in, and I realized something I haven't done on any of my socials. I haven't, well, I mean, maybe on Instagram, but I haven't talked about this, and that is the death of Ozzy Osbourne. And it's not like anyone gives a shit about my opinion, but just I, for myself, need to say this. Like, I actually discovered Ozzy and Black Sabbath later in life. Not discovered like I'd never heard of them. I mean, I just didn't listen to them really until maybe 15 years ago. And the reason why is, I guess, when Black Sabbath was huge, I was a toddler. That's, you know, that's a thing. And then Ozzy's solo career, you know, 80s, again, I was littler, and then 90s when, you know, No More Tears and all that. I was, during that time, the time that I guess you think I should have discovered Black Sabbath and Ozzy, I was very much into punk and thrash metal and this, that, and the other. So I was, all my high school years and college years, I was listening to Dead Kennedys, Black Flag, Slayer, the Melvins, you know, that kind of stuff was what I really liked. And that just didn't fit. So I didn't dislike Ozzy or Black Sabbath. It just didn't fit at the time. And then I guess it's about 15 years ago that I think I was standing in the back of Alligator Alley, oddly enough, and Snowblind was on by Black Sabbath. And I was just like, something, of course I'd heard the song, but something at that moment was like, holy crap, that's an amazing song. And so now I would say today, you know, knocking on 50's door, the age, not the decade, I would say Black Sabbath is probably my favorite band. Like, it's the one I listen to most. We saw Ozzy in 2017 at the Buffalo Chip. It was an amazing show. I am a huge Zakk Wylde fan, and Zakk was Ozzy's guitarist. That's not why, though. I do remember Zakk as a teenager. When I was a teenager, we're about the same age. And Zakk was the size of a twig, and now he's like this, like, frickin' Viking. He's this giant frickin' dude now. And I'm a huge fan of Zakk Wylde and Black Label Society, and Zakk Sabbath is an amazing show. And I will tell you, unfortunately, Zakk Sabbath is only playing this year in Pensacola, in Florida. That's not close to me. Florida's long. But just wait, I'm gonna put, let's see now. It's gonna take me roughly 6 hours to get to the state line in Alabama. It's about 6 hours from Palm Beach to the state line. So yeah, it's a long state. It is in fact the flaccid male member off the east coast of the United States. So fun fact, we're about to pass here in a few minutes, Club Risque. It is a fully not clothed bar that I've never been to, but it's always a source of jokes because the billboards start like 60 miles before you get there. And it's like, truckers welcome, overnight parking, showers. Who showers at a strip club besides the strippers? I mean, like, I can't imagine, I cannot fathom, like, I used to think it was hilarious that, like, the places in Illinois, growing up in Missouri, all those places were on the Illinois side of the river, that they would feature, like, a buffet lunch. I just couldn't imagine going to one of those places to have lunch. And here, they're advertising showers. Not shower shows, not as an attraction, like, oh, I may as well stop overnight at Club Risque, and then I'll just take a shower while I'm there. Anyway, so this whole group, you know, Tom and Daniel and our spouses and some even friends that aren't even going to make it this year to the rally, we have a text group going on, and we, you know, dictation through the truck, sending messages to everybody, and Tom sent a meme a minute ago, and his wife Lynn replies, how are you sending memes? You should be driving. And I replied, well, the hooker he picked up at Club Risque is driving. Tom's riding shotgun so we can sit and send memes. I thought it was funny. Tom, I don't know if Lynn thought it was funny, to be honest. Well, I'll find out when she gets there in a few days if she slaps me. And then I texted the wife separately and said, should I stop at Club Risque? Ha ha ha. And she's like, no, you can't even take pictures and send them to me. What's the point? And that is why I love my wife. So I need to stop for gas in about 100 miles, diesel, anyway. And then I'll reassess my route exactly. I know I'm heading toward Montgomery, but am I going to find a Cracker Barrel or a Walmart or something just south of Montgomery is the goal? But I use this app called RV Park or RV Parky or something like that, and it's got a map that shows places that you can overnight in the parking lot that are okay with it. and people rate them. They have to give it stars and stuff. I did find a Walmart just like 20 miles south of Montgomery, and the RV Parky app says its overnighting's okay, but it gives it 2.5 stars. There are a lot of horror stories about overnighting in Walmart parking lots due to safety issues. So I heard a lot of people have had like bicycles stolen off their rigs, or you know, all kinds of stuff. So I really don't want to deal with that crap. Though, let's be honest, I'm armed to the teeth. Still just not both in the rig and the truck and myself. Like, I go to Sturgis rolling heavy. and I'm not, you know, afraid. It's just a matter of like, I don't want someone trying to break in the rig in the middle of the night, and, you know, or something stupid like that. So it's why deal with that crap. Anyway, so I'll reassess when I stop. But ooh, and is this another Club Risque sign? Hang on. No, it's for fireworks, because I'm in Florida. The same exit that Club Risque is at, there's a giant fireworks store, because that's what you need, is like bottle rockets and a, never mind, I can't say it because YouTube. All right, if only there was like an R-rated YouTube, that'd be awesome. Okay, talk to you in a bit. First fuel stop. Stopped at a Love's. The buddy told me about the app thing where you have like a barcode and save money. So I saved 25 cents off each gallon of diesel, and 10 cents off gas. So that saved me like $7-8 at the pump on the truck. And then I filled up the generator too, which was like 20 gallons. So $2, yeah. So yeah, so the Love's app, like get it and then set it up, and there's a barcode. You scan at the pump or put your phone number in, and you get 25 cents off diesel, 10 cents off gas. So if you haven't left for Sturgis yet, stop at Love's, do that. It only works at the auto pumps. Like if I'd have gone to the truck lanes, that wouldn't have worked. This one was like kind of a rural, I don't know if you can see anything, it's raining like hell. It's kind of a rural one, nice big island, easy to get to. So let me get out of the way here in case there's another RVer trying to get to a pump. That was exciting. I actually got to make a turn. So now I'm on I-10, heading through, or on the way to Tallahassee, and then I don't know where the hell I'm going, but 155. So I got on the turnpike 10 miles from my house, not even, and went 230 miles on the same road, and then got on I-10, and now I'm 155 miles to my next turn, which might be straight and stay on a little longer. So the sun has come out though. I went through some serious storms, man, like storming so bad I had the hazards on. That's a Florida thing. I don't normally do that. That's how bad it was. I couldn't see shit. But in the upside though, the rig got a wash. That's nice. I'm gonna stop at the Streak and Beacon somewhere along the way. If you're a trucker out there, you know what I'm talking about, the Blue Beacon truck wash, and get the rig washed as close to Sturgis as I possibly can. Tom's plan is to be in Sturgis by dinner time tomorrow night. He'll probably do it. I have to work tomorrow. I didn't take tomorrow off, so I've got to get up and put in several hours before I move on. So it'll probably be Saturday dinner time before I arrive. That'll be a goal. Saturday dinner time to be at the campground. So I guess I'll check in a bit. All right, I'm going to check in a little less frequently because it's dark and I'm on highways I've never been on before because of this route. Evidently, Dothan, Alabama is just freaking hopping on a Thursday night. Like, I mean, like, there's traffic. At 9:15 their time, 10:15 mine, because I cross the time zone line. It's like there's crazy amounts of traffic at 9:15 on a Thursday night in Dothan, Alabama. Like, ooh, is that a porn store? Yeah, I think there's a lot of those. It's more interesting, that's for damn sure. But I'll tell you, these little roads, and I'm gonna shut this off as soon as I get a green light. These little roads are a little nerve-wracking. We're talking little divided, you know, divide two lane, you know, kind of thing, that are rural, and all of a sudden hard sweeps and stuff, and pulling the rig. I'm like, oh, having never driven the road before, it's a little nerve-wracking. But looks like I'm turning left. I got 100 miles to empty. I'm turning left. I'm going 5 miles. Then the next highway is 90, but not the 90 that's in South Dakota. And then I go 90 miles on it. I'm sure there'll be gas. It'll be fine. Highway you've never been on before. I don't know where the hell the lane is. I guess it's here. I'm just following the traffic in front of me. But there's cops everywhere. Like, I don't know. All their lights are on. It's okay. All right, now we're just gonna go 5 miles, turn left, and then go 90 miles. So that truck's just in the highway. Oh, we're U-turning. Oh, okay. So life on the road. I've stopped at my Cracker Barrel in Montgomery, Alabama, or north of Montgomery, on the way to Birmingham. And life on the road in a parking lot's a little challenging. I mean, we got guitars on my bed. We have my wife's boots and beer for friends and just shit everywhere. Let's be honest. Now, some of the stuff wasn't there when I left. It kind of bounces off, you know. Bathroom I have access to. So there's a door here. So I got a front door and a back door, but there's motorcycles in the way of that one, really. So coming through the bedroom door, and I have my bedroom, I have my bathroom, so I'm not complaining. And I have my kitchen. Mostly the slide is in, so needless to say that normally there's like a 4 foot there. But you know, I got my microwave access, not really oven, can't get to the pantry, but you know, plates and everything and all that stuff. So, oh my God, somebody stole the Gray Ghost. Well, no. So we'll get to what I was talking about earlier. The wife's bike is here, and my Street Glide is here. The Gray Ghost is not here. Why? I mean, it's a long and convoluted story, but y'all know that I bought that bike 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, something like that, and just tore it apart. You know, immediately started doing stuff to it. Put the cam in it, put the tuner on it. Had an issue tuning the first time, and I screwed up doing the Screaming Eagle tuners. I didn't know that you have to plug them in and have them fully charged, and that caused the ECM to crash. So I had to take it to the dealer real quick. They plug it in, reset it up, no charge, and then, you know, sent me home with it. So did all that, and then ordered bars from Dominator. I don't do negative stuff. I don't like it. But I will never give them another penny as the rest of my life. Like, anyway, again, I don't like negative stuff, but I feel like, seriously, with those of you who watch the channel, I should share that there's so many better handlebar companies. KST and Factory 47 and Tab has theirs and stuff. The reason why I ordered Dominators is that, not knowing anything about new Softails, they're the only ones that on their site say 100% pre-wired, no pulling of wires, ready to go, whatever. Like I said, I didn't want to do any serious modifications, no cutting of wires, stuff with this Gray Ghost. So I ordered their bars. It was like 800 bucks, something like that, 780, something like that. Shipped, and that was the full kit, clutch extension, brake extension. Well, and it says 14 days. Well, that seems a little long, but whatever. Then I find out that 14 days is business days. So they're claiming it's 3 to 4 weeks to manufacture a set of handlebars. No. KST made custom one-off 18-inch bars for that bike and also for my old Road King in a few days. Like, no, so it does not take that long. They didn't snake the wires and ship them. It wasn't until I finally got a hold of a customer service person and just bitched and moaned that I magically got a shipping notice. Like, they were just sitting there somewhere. Then they got there. It takes a while. They get from California to South Florida. They got there, and my clutch cable and brake line that I had paid for was not in there. So I had to, again, leave a dirty voicemail so that they didn't know that I found a phone number. That's a thing. They don't have phone numbers. Like, you can't call them. All you can do is send an email and hope you respond, and they don't respond. So anyway, left a voicemail, and miraculously the stuff that was missing was next day. And again, I've never got a response. No responses, just action as a result of the messages I left, which is not a way to do business. And then the next day I got there, and one thing that's totally untrue, I'll mention too, it's not really their fault, but their website's inaccurate and dishonest, to be honest. It says no snaking of wires, it'll save you money, etc., etc. And it wasn't until I tore it apart that I realized that's impossible. The turn signals are hardwired into the lamps themselves. You will always have to snake the wires for the turn signals. There's no way to not do that unless you relocate them somewhere else in the bike. So their website's bullshit. It's just not true. You're gonna have to snake wires no matter what. So it makes the whole thing a little less attractive. Because if you're snaking, I actually had to snake the turn signals when there were already wires run. So it makes it actually more difficult. It'd be easier to do them all at once. Anyway, so I got the bars on. And literally they were so late in getting to me and so late in getting the wires to me, and I was so delayed that when I finally got on the bike and started heading to the storage lot to load it in this rig, it was the first time I really got to ride it, you know, for any sort of distance since I rode it home from them reflashing the, so, you know, if you remember this, they reflashed on the way home. I was like, oh, the valve train doesn't sound good. I'm going to redo the push rods. This is not an uncommon thing. When you do a stage 2, you're like, that's still kind of chattery. So you redo the process. It's not a big deal. Put it up on the lift, did it again, no problem. Rode it to the storage lot, and I'm like, still not happy with the way that sounds. You know, it's still, it needs some fine tuning. And with it needing that, I was not gonna put it in the rig and haul it 5,000 miles. So I made the decision, and I was actually quite happy with it, that I was not gonna have a showy bike to show off and ride and go, look at me, look at me. I was gonna have my Sturgis like I had for many years, and that is with one bike and enjoy myself. So brought my Street Glide. That's it, make a short story long. So I love the Gray Ghost. I loved it too much to maybe ride it when it wasn't just right, and I was out of time. As a result of that Dominator fiasco, out of time and could not mess with it anymore. So I'm gonna have a classic Sturgis and get on my Street Glide and kill miles with it and have fun with my friends and see you all there and have a good old time. So plan on doing these videos every day. Please come hang out. Of course, on Friday the 1st at the Buffalo Chip, you'll just see my Street Glide instead of the Gray Ghost. I'm sure you'll see a Gray Ghost. I'm sure Harley will have one at their setup on Lozelle. So anyway, hope you enjoy these videos. Please comment. I mean, I'll do my best to read them. Please note that when I'm on the road, I can't check DMs and messages. And last year I had someone get really mad at me because they sent me a DM about wanting to meet up for dinner, which is not something I would normally do anyway, but they were really mad that I didn't answer. And it was strange because I was like, I can't check my Instagram messages when I'm at Sturgis. Anyway, so I really do love you all to death. I hope I get to see you at Sturgis and hang out and have a good time. Take care of each other. We'll talk real soon. Bye.